getting sued because one of them hit a fan.
Oh shit, they did?
Yeah, that's why they're getting suspended, because they were doing that shit and there was fucking civilians in the room.
There's too much money to be lost, but if he really wanted to mess with Connor, he'd just cancel the fight, strip him of the belt.
Hey, Omega.
Yes, Gunner.
How's your summer been, friend?
Well, it's been the best summer ever, as the announcers like to remind me.
I'm ready to go to the biggest party of the summer, the takeover that happens in Brooklyn again, the sequel, the New Japan Super Junior Cup, and 2 140-pound midgets beating the fuck out of each other's face. Wait, well, they'll be at 170, but you know what I mean. We got all of that nonsense. All of that nonsense coming up here live on Smark Snark. This is episode 202. Hit the music.
Yes!
You killed it!
Yes! We keep the streak alive!
Alright, so no music, because you're going to get by more than 2 seconds. I just like to get as long as he lasts in bed. Hey everybody.
I told your mom to stop telling you that stuff.
Welcome to episode 222. My name is Gunner. That is Omega BR.
I've been watching a lot of MTV Classic. I think we should replace Yankum with Downtown Julie Brown.
Oh, dear Jesus.
That'd be cool. Then I could get some fucking work done.
Yankum, our wonderful technical producer right there.
Yep.
That sounded defeated.
Yeah, it did. Also here is Donkey Lips and his wonderful tag team partner for life.
Wow.
He's dying over there. You can hear him. It's the best part.
Fuck you! No, you're not, bitch.
You guys in a barn or what?
They're fighting like an old married couple. It's so cute. Also joining us this week is Save Us Dog.
Downtown Julie Brown. That's a good choice. I like it. Thumbs up.
And Nat Jester.
You're all going on about MTV game shows. I could sing the title song to Remote Control for you if you want.
No, please no.
I will kick
God,
you.
No, no, dear God, no.
Don't you dare ruin Remote Control for me, bastard.
All right, you too can participate in our show today, which is our SummerSlam Takeover UFC New Japan Super Junior Cup predictions show.
Literally fucking everything.
On drugs. You can call in 812-408-9666 or 812-408. Woo! Serious Podcast, SRS Podcast is our name on Skype. You can add us there and you can get on the show, or if you have a little extra money left over in your summer savings account, you can check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Smark Snark. And so here we go. I'm going to start with the news here. And the pretty obvious ones. ADR and Paige were suspended for 30 days for their first violation of the wellness policy, effective Thursday. And Eva Marie was also suspended today for the same reason, which is not part of her delayed debut storyline.
Thank you, God. This has been like an amazing couple of days. Holy shit.
Shh, you guys hear that? It's CM Punk laughing. He's like, I'm going to make my fight. What about you? Oh.
So, Gunner, what do you think Del Rio got tested for?
The same thing Paige got tested for, whatever it was. I think that, by the way, this is the last time we're going to see ADR on camera.
Yeah.
I think that they're not going to use him again, and I think that he's going to quietly opt out of his contract in October.
Oh, yeah, his contract
unless they do
soon
some
enough. Why the hell would you stick around if you're Alberto at this point?
Well, it doesn't expire. He has that opt-out clause where I think at the end of September, October, he can leave if he wants to, which he probably will.
They used him exactly the same as they used him before. Yeah. But mind you, here's the problem. Where does he go from here? Because Mexico isn't that hot.
AAA. That's for damn sure.
He's apparently could. Apparently, he's got a couple of offers. He's got, I forget the first one. TNA still wants him, obviously, of course. He kept saying he wouldn't go to TNA because they can't pay him what he's worth. But, given the circumstances, he makes, whatever TNA's willing to throw at him to work maybe, half a week, a month,
Mm-hmm. Is Del Rio really worth all that much, though?
It's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the right place.
Well, he's a very big Hispanic star, arguably the biggest outside of, from an international standpoint. Ray.
Probably Ray.
I mean, it's not his fault that WWE keeps doing this thing where they want a big, strong Hispanic star and then don't do it.
I mean,
or turn him into CN or whatever his name is.
Sin Cara, not gonna lie, the career path of Sin Cara is exactly what they think should happen to pretty much all workers from Mexico.
Yeah,
I mean, it's they botch the whole thing and they try to do it, and it's just some rich old white guy who's completely out of touch, who doesn't understand how to push. I mean, even with Rey Mysterio, they screwed him up so bad when they put the belt on him at that one point. And even in 2011 when he won it for all of an hour and a half or something like that. It's every time that somebody touches the belt like that. Even Pedro Morales. I mean, you can go back to that even. And how big of a mistake that run was, and how badly they screwed that up. And it blows my mind that they can't push a guy from Mexico. And I think it's a little racist, to be perfectly honest. But that's just me.
Gunner, let's hold the cards back until we see what they do with Metalik.
I mean, they can't push anyone, right? Like anyone at all of any ethnicity or
that's
diverse background.
There you go. I mean, yeah, you could expand it to even that. Absolutely.
All right. Well,
we're missing the.
I think he's got a plenty of a good chance to either go back to Lucha Underground if they stick around, or possibly over to Japan.
I say Japan.
He hasn't worked Japan before. He could. New Japan is looking for stars that are recognizable in North America, and Del Rio would fit in perfectly, and he could still work with ROH.
Yeah. Not only that,
I want to see Del Rio Tanahashi.
I do too. You got to remember, Lucha Underground's still with underneath that the AAA umbrella, so there's still bad blood there. At the same time, there is another factor here that we're not talking about. Will the Ovary Exploder go with him?
Oh, I was just about to say that. Where is Paige going to end up?
I'm leaning toward yes, because Paige is in kind of a weird spot where when she first came in, she was the anti-diva and really jump-started the Divas Revolution, but now she's really lost in the shuffle. I mean, now you actually are bringing in women like Asuka and making your own stars like Bayley, and now she's just she's almost the Natalya of the division, even though Natalia's still there.
Yeah. But the problem is with Paige is there's nowhere really to go other than WWE that's anywhere near the level that WWE is.
She'll go to TNA.
And if you go to... she could, but
she could manage him in
massive
Japan.
Cut, and it would just be...
I don't think
that... no competition.
I don't think that Paige is going to leave. I think that she's got a job with the company. I think that her neck screwed up as it is. She would stay with the company for that long. I can see, by the way, Eva Marie getting so much heat because of this.
Ooh. Speaking of
her husband said on Twitter, you guys aren't going to believe what she got popped for. It's totally unfair. It's, you're going to be outraged.
She's doing the Aldo.
Yeah, but he's dumb as rocks, though. So I mean, I just take whatever he says with a grain of salt.
Well, that guy is too. So I'm guessing I know what it is. She's been training with Kendrick. Kendrick didn't want to waste the good stuff on her. He gave her the KT.
All right, Conor McGregor continued his anti-WWE rhetoric this week. First apologizing to Ric Flair and calling him a Don, but saying he did not steal his gimmick and that his actions are his own. He called the majority of WWE guys dweebs and targeted John Cena, bashing the way he dresses and calling him a big fat 40-year-old failed Mr. Olympia motherfucker.
Well, he kind of is. That was his initial career path, and it didn't work out, and then he had major success in WWE. So, but fucking Conor McGregor's just shooting at the mouth like he always does.
Yep. Well, I mean, we said it last week, I think it was, when we were talking about this. The guy's a total mark for himself, and he's just, I don't know why he thinks...
Whichever great fighter is. Every great fighter is a mark for themselves.
But, I mean, really, you have to take the extra time to go bashing wrestling. For what? Like, that's how you're going to get yourself over? Like, is it just to have UFC fans go, oh, yeah, he's right. Oh, fucking, yeah, fuck that fake shit. Like, who fucking cares? Really?
There really is a big mark of irrelevance here. I mean, imagine, let's say he went off to the NFL instead and said, Brady, all those top quarterbacks, they can't hang with me. They're on the field. They have all this protection. They have their $1 million houses. They have their massage therapists, et cetera, et cetera. Let's say he goes after the NFL. Well, what's the point? What's the relevance factor? And I feel like there really is none.
It's just like if you were to go out to fucking talk shit about Floyd Mayweather when he was trying to hype up him fighting Floyd.
That would make sense just because by some miracle they had a fight. But
I think it's more like him going after, I don't know, fucking.
It would be like
it's like him going after 24. And saying, oh, that fake shit. Fucking, what's his face that plays Jack Bauer's a big fucking pussy. That guy's a fucking, who cares about that fucking dweeb? And it's like, you're being a cunt. For what reason? It's unnecessary. Stop being a cunt.
It's just so strange to me that he wants to keep rambling on and on and on about this, and obviously it's getting him attention, which he wants. Because he's got a fight to sell this weekend. Yeah. By the way, McGregor, second round knockout.
No, I think
get knocked out.
Decision again.
No. A second round knockout because he catches him like he caught what's his face? Jose Aldo. Yeah, that's my call
a 1 in a million punch.
Right, but he's gonna get lucky, is what I'm saying.
He's gonna lose. No. I'm gonna make one of my signature bold predictions.
Oh dear God!
Double disqualification.
Double punch.
It'll be
double KO.
It'll be two Superman punches into each other, and they'll both get knocked out. Yeah. And that'll be.
And then in the distance, on the wind, you hear "Baby Girl."
Now, McGregor will go for a punch. Diaz will go for a Pele kick. They'll end up in a standing 69, headbutt each other in the genitals at the same time. And White will cut the. You can figure out what happens from there. White will cut the feed.
And then when it comes back, it'll be the two of them in the middle of the octagon, shorts off, just having a fucking, like, the most hardcore sucking fuck fest you ever saw. And then right at the end of it, Connor squats over the other dude's face and bricks right in his mouth.
Well, remember
our daddy taught us not to be ashamed of our dicks.
Remember the Billy and Chuck wedding?
Yes. Unfortunately, yes.
And Dana White will peel his face off to reveal Eric Bischoff. Easy.
Hey.
And then out comes 3-minute warning to tear the place apart.
Oh, we got 3 minutes and we're out of here.
Yeah, that's going to be that fight.
Johnny Depp is at ringside, writing a new movie based on it.
All right. But honestly, though, I think that Connor actually figures out what's his face, Diaz, and does the right thing and knocks him the fuck out, and then he gets to keep talking, which is honestly the best part about UFC right now. Because
here's the real
name me
question,
someone else that you're actually entertained by. Name me somebody else you're entertained by in UFC right now.
Brock
Lesnar
brothers.
Brock Lesnar.
Well, Brock Lesnar had one
who might be suspended for whatever that was. Yeah.
2 years.
Right. I'm endlessly entertained.
When she decides to come back and gets knocked out again.
Let's
speaking of a guy with a weird lumpy head, Billy Corgan is now the president of Impact Ventures, while Dixie Carter is the chairman and chief strategy officer. So a bunch of bullshit titles that says Billy Corgan's on top of Dixie Carter. The fan
That's not an image I wanted in my head.
Yeah, basically he gets to pay to answer to Dixie. Now he gets to pay more money to answer to Dixie.
Why is she still there?
His head is the only thing that'll fit in her vagina because she's been fucked so much.
Did you guys see? And this is kind of a spoiler, but it's TNA, so did you guys see that design for the new Grand Championship?
The fuck is that? Is this like their
It's like the fifth incarnation of the Global Championship. That same belt that's been the Global, the Legends, the King of the Mountain. It's the new King of the Mountain title.
Oh, for the love of fuck with them. Why do they even keep Dixie Carter in the company? I don't understand.
She gives great head.
Because she still has the money in it? Yeah, that too. That's a shoe, by the way.
I think.
Whoa. Yeah, I can't come back at that. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. My point.
Lex knows about that firsthand.
Oh, dear Jesus. But basically, so shuffling, pointless. Billy Corgan's up Dixie Carter's ass.
Billy Corgan's even more of a money mark than Dixie Carter is.
We all forget about the third party that no one wants to talk about, and that's the SS.
Oh, dear Jesus. And what you call it?
I just posted the Grand Championship into the chat if you want to look at it.
It looks exactly like the. Remember when they had King of the Cage? Remember that promotion? Looks exactly like that belt.
Yes,
and here's the funniest bit: they actually got a new belt for it. However, it was a World Championship design that they then took a little trophy. What do you call it? A trophy adhesive, like a trophy marquee, and stuck Grand on there instead of World.
I don't understand why they're calling
the funniest
it the
part.
Champion.
Well, you don't want to know why they're doing that? It's because they had a match recently. It was Bobby Lashley versus someone else, and it was for all of the titles. Again, they did that gimmick again.
So
remember when Joe and Angle did that literally a decade ago?
Is that what you call it? Did they? Are they doing this on purpose?
Think so.
I mean, is that the whole point, to put all the belts onto one person?
That second belt looks nice, though.
It's the same belt. It's the same belt with a little, except it on top they put a little trophy nameplate that says Grand to cover the World part.
Right, and it looks a little smaller.
Different lighting.
The impact looks smaller to me.
And the side plates look different too, I think.
Well, trust me.
It's the same belt. It's different lighting and a different angle.
If the impact looks smaller, it's because the impact is much smaller.
No, there is
this impact.
I don't really. It's weird, those little rivet band-aids on it, though, connecting the plates. You know, see what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, no, it looks awful. Like, if they were going to do that, those should have actually been separate three-dimensional pieces.
Yeah.
But
to be honest, though, it's going to look great on Alberto.
No. It looks like the AAA belt, so.
All right, Fozzie, moving right along.
WWE trademarked Grand Metalik, suggesting they have signed him, while Kota Ibushi told Japanese media that he turned down a full-time WWE offer and hopes to continue working in both countries.
Real quick, I've got to make an addendum to you, Omega. It's not Del Rio. It would be Dorito in TNA. Thank you.
That's sad.
What's El Dorito doing in the Impact Zone, Mike, you selfish prick?
Josh, you faggot!
Jesus Christ.
So I'm sorry to hear that Kota Ibushi won't be here full time, but both countries, that'd be pretty good.
I prefer it
better because
Kota Ibushi versus Kenny Omega, Wrestle Kingdom 12, please.
Yeah, WWE doesn't have the best track record with pushing their Japanese wrestlers.
Well, the thing
is, any international star, period.
Well, you've got the cruiserweight division starting, so that's the only reason I would say. Well, maybe it's if they really wanted to showcase him and the other guys in the division, but who knows? It might end in 6 months.
So I do want to mention that there is actually heat on Ibushi for not signing.
That's not surprising. I mean,
so
be.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Kind of heat?
Winner, Hunter heat that he's mad that he can't get him. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a change in the CWC and who wins.
Yeah. Oh.
It makes sense.
I didn't think about that. Because the finals are live, right?
Yep, they're on a live takeover.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. Okay, so what's the last one?
Well, Shawn Michaels was leading the finishing class at the Performance Center after Terry Taylor recently had neck surgery. The door is open for Michaels to take a full-time gig, but moving his family to Orlando is the big issue. Also, Adam Pearce and Sarah Amato will soon leave and work with the main roster full-time, and Scotty Tuhati will reportedly come in to help fill the void at the Performance Center.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Stop right there. Everybody sit the fuck down and buckle your fucking seatbelts on. Death Ray in WWE. I just came.
No, she's going up to agent the matches.
Yeah, she's been there for a while.
No. I know that. But the way that just read to me was that Pierce and Amato were going to actually debut on the roster, and I was like, wait, what?
Well, I guess it could happen if they do need to fill these rosters.
Oh, give me
especially the women.
Asuka versus Death Ray.
Absolutely.
Becky versus Death Ray. Oh my god.
Bailey versus Death Ray. Oh, the teacher versus the student. Oh, wouldn't that be just so good?
Hopefully it means that. I hope it means that we can finally get decent, continuous decent matches out of the Divas division. Oh my god, I'm still calling it the Divas division because it is still the fucking Divas division. Nothing's changed about it. Hopefully Death Ray can bring a new attitude to that actual fucking revolution.
To the main roster, yeah.
Yes. The NXT style.
Nah, dude, this women's title, man. Women's championship.
So we've talked about Shawn Michaels training before, and that some of the people said that he was a less than stellar trainer because it's harder for somebody that's just naturally good at something to teach than it is for somebody that's just a middle of the road hard worker.
The story goes, at least when he was running the Texas Wrestling Academy, is that was still the period where he was hurt. So he got in the ring sometimes, but he mostly taught from the sidelines. And there's the whole story of Daniel Bryan. The only thing Michaels gave Bryan was a check or a bill for $3,000. But
well, what did you expect? I mean, it's exactly like the Hearts.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, if we're talking about a finishing class, who qualifies as finishing? Bailey, perhaps. Your top people, Joe, maybe. Guys who are still not on the main roster, but basically could be called up any day. I mean, I can see that.
Scotty Too Hottie being a performance center teacher.
If No Way Jose does not get the worm as a finisher, I will be very disappointed.
Well, rev up those disappointments.
He's a pretty good wrestler though, so I mean, and he was always a hard worker, and he got a lot out of what little he had. So it's not. I like it. I think it's a good signing.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, if you have to carry Jerry Lawler's son around for a couple years, you'd learn a thing or two. I'm just saying. All right, so that's it. Here, news over. We can't do this in 15 minutes. This is gonna be long as fuck. So we're gonna take over two things here. We're gonna do NXT Takeover, and we're gonna do SummerSlam predictions. Obviously, you can follow us there. And we're just gonna
11 matches on SummerSlam now. 11.
6 hours of SummerSlam. Are you guys ready for that?
Oh my god.
Okay, so let's do the math, guy.
Whoa. No, you're out.
Let's do the math, guys. Ready? 3 hours in New Japan, 2 hours of Takeover, 6 hours of SummerSlam,
3 hours for
3 hours of Raw, 3 hours for Ring of Honor, 2 hours for SmackDown. Any other additional programming on top of that on the WWE Network? Superstars,
Cruiserweight Classic.
Cruiserweight Classic and NXT.
Ring of Honor TV.
We're looking at a good 30 hours of work, 30 hours of watching wrestling this week.
And that's not even counting Evolve.
Of course. And the other,
maybe a fourth of it will actually be worth watching.
Isn't CZW doing a pay-per-view this week too?
Yep. I mean, obviously, this is our half year spectacular because SummerSlam was, WrestleMania was just 4 months ago, and we're celebrating a half year 4 months later. But that's just my opinion on the whole matter. It's a lot of wrestling. When I say it's a lot of wrestling, it's a lot of wrestling. A lot of people actually I want to see. So we'll get started here. Ember Moon versus Billie Kay at NXT TakeOver. Ember Moon's debut, and Billie Kay is a girl. That's about all I can say about that.
So do we know who Ember Moon is? I don't know the name.
It's Athena She was in, I believe, Shine for a long time.
Shimmer. She was a real big Shimmer star.
Okay, there we go.
The gimmick based on the promos looks pretty standard. It's been done before. But that doesn't mean she won't play it well.
Who are you picking?
It's obviously Ember Moon.
I'm sorry, I was talking to the
I don't know, guys.
beside me.
I don't know, guys. Billy Kay, might come up and upset her. I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm just interested in what the gimmick is going to be for her, really. Is she going to be some, like... It seems very, like, Arabian Nights so far? Aladdin style?
It's kind of like, if you know Hanya the Howling Huntress from the indie scene, I'm betting it's going to be similar to that. Kind of Huntress, woodsy, wolf on her head, that kind of thing.
Lex just said about
King Cuerno.
I thought we were male ninja type.
She's
No Way Jose versus Austin Aries, greatest man who ever lived. A double. I'm taking A double on this one. Be perfectly honest.
I agree with Gunner.
Jose can use the loss, and Austin can use the win. Because I want to see Bobby Roode versus Austin Aries for the number one contendership next takeover. Calling that one right now.
So I say no way. I say Austin Aries. This fucker says no way, Jose. And by the way, this kid fucking loves that guy.
How can you not?
I love him too. Don't get me wrong. I really like No Way Jose. He's got a lot of charisma. He actually moves around in the ring. I think that his gimmick can go from a one-dimensional thing to something that is multi-dimensional. Why he's No Way Jose, what's his actual last name is, or that kind of thing. And an origin story behind him would be really awesome. I think if done right. But whatchamacallit, he's got the moves to make your booty shake. So there you go. You can think about Omega's booty shaking whenever No Way Jose comes out from now on. That is now kayfabe.
Oh, Jesus Christ, why?
That face, just his face staring at you while the ass is shaking.
Yep, exactly. Anybody else?
I'm going to pick No Way Jose. I think this is really going to be also the match where we're going to tell, is No Way Jose purely a gimmick or can he actually go? Because if you can't have a good match with Austin Aries, you're fucking terrible.
We may have a problem here.
True. I think that'll kind of determine whether he does have legs or whether he's going to go CJ. I already forgot the guy's name.
CJ Parker?
Yeah. Juice Robinson.
Parker. I hope CJ enjoys it. I hope CJ is enjoying his time. But for the meantime, the Revival versus Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Tag Team titles.
Sleeper match of the fucking night.
The word is that Gargano and Ciampa are going to have a new tag name for this takeover. So that'll be really intriguing because I have no fucking idea what the hell their tag name is going to be.
Evolve.
Evolution.
So
that'd be awesome.
One of the words floating around is, and I'm being dead serious on this, is quote unquote Dream Team Machine.
Oh, that's awful.
That is awful.
Actually,
if you get rid of the team and just call them the Dream Machine, that wouldn't be too bad.
I'd like that.
What about Team Dream Machine?
Our team barely can get on rides at amusement parks. What?
Wow, Gunner.
I'm kidding. They're all really short. They're all like my height, which is I'm average height for those who
they
don't
could be
know.
The Glorious Bombers.
I think I would like to hear. You know what? If they're the Glorious Bombers, more power to them. I really would like that, to be perfectly honest. But
the Revival doesn't get on a roller coaster unless it's made of wood.
Oof.
Oh hell yeah! They need that old southern fucking wood roller coasters where you can die.
Where it's all rickety and you hear every complaint and every strain.
Those fucking curves, you think that the fucking thing's leaning over. Yeah, those kinds.
seriously, though, I think the Revival will lose.
I agree because I think that we need a title change here, and there aren't going to be any others.
Question: do they get called up?
Revival?
Hope so.
Yes.
Revival? No. Gargano and Ciampa do. Gargano and Ciampa do.
I don't think either one yet.
With the titles?
No, without the titles.
How do you have
I think the Revival win too, and I think Gargano and Ciampa get called up as a tag team and then eventually become part of the Cruiserweights.
There you go. I mean, that was exactly my thinking because I forgot about the Cruiserweights and I was like, wait a minute, who's going to get called up here? And then it's Gargano and Ciampa because they're ready.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the first round. Look at that first round match. I mean, obviously that's going to impress somebody to actually say, hey, wait a minute, we should bring them up. While the Revival need more polishing. I mean, obviously they're really good.
Yeah, and they were the featured match of that night one, and WWE made all this hype about them. It just kind of makes sense. And also, Kota and Zach did not sign, so they're going to need guys in that division.
Well, I could see Gargano and Ciampa winning, but then the next night the next NXT, they drop them to the Authors of Pain.
No. I don't want to see that. Omega, no.
I could see that, but I sure as hell don't want to.
So, well, here's the thing, though. You sort of need Gargano and Ciampa down in NXT because I want someone here to tell me what the fuck's the tag division. Name 4 tag teams, or at least 5, in NXT right now that are viable for the titles.
The Revival.
Authors of Pain.
Authors of Pain.
The Random Jobbers.
Patrick Clark and that other guy.
Yeah.
On NXT television. Doesn't count if they're going around to fucking the Orlando Armory.
Bobby Roode and James Storm, now that he's done with TNA.
Not confirmed.
Give me a sec.
Oh, yeah, what about TM61?
TM61.
See, that's what I was waiting for. You can have Gargano and Ciampa win because then they can go ahead and drop it to TM61, and TM61 can be the flag bearers for the tag team division while they go through a rebuilding process. Or you can have the Revival do that too. I think the Revival are ready to be called up. They could be great heels for whether it be SmackDown or Raw. I prefer SmackDown since SmackDown needs the talent. And they can just continue to wreck shit on SmackDown.
And they can be the 8th team in a 8-team tag team match.
So, okay, the four tag teams that are on NXT right now are the Authors of Pain, the Revival, Gargano and Ciampa, and TM61, and that's it. So, in other words, they're going to have to make more tag teams, and they have the Ely's, and they have Alexander Wolf and Sawyer Fulton going around on the house show.
I think there's a good chance they could sign the Bollywood Boys, too.
Oh,
who the fuck?
Wait a minute, aren't they Global Force Wrestling Tag Team Champions?
Yes.
Yeah, so
they dropped those quick.
So they are the champions of nothing.
Man, remember when we thought it was going to be something?
No.
Right, exactly. Bobby Roode versus Andrade.
I have more faith in Russellicious.
Almas. Oh, dear Jesus, don't ever bring up Russellicious again. Cien versus Roode.
Roode, because Storm's interfering in that match.
Storm is not.
He's not, but
he's gonna be involved in NXT by the end of the year.
Rude by chicanery.
I agree. It's going to be some sort of disqualification or potential intentional count out.
Man, it would be pretty harsh for Cien to lose this match, though, because where the fuck is he going? He's done nothing in NXT. Unless they're looking at him as potentially another cruiserweight guy. What the hell is he going to do?
That's the trouble.
I want to see them feud. I want to see them go for longer than just this match.
Yeah, I mean, why not? That's
the storm is coming, guys.
Every month you bring in somebody new. They can't all be. When you have a roster full of name brands, that they can't all just win that first match and then.
I also think Bobby Roode is one of the few people who could lose his first match and still be just fine.
He could be, but what?
Well, that's why I say chicanery. He'll either roll the tights or maybe Cien will win, but then Roode will hit him with a chair a few times, or
Okay, so here are the serious predictions. Asuka versus Bayley for the NXT Women's Championship.
Asuka.
And
then Bayley's going to get called up, rather.
I think I'm going to go against everyone, and I'm going to say actually Bayley does it. I don't think there's who are they going to fucking have Asuka to go up against?
Billie Kay. Can't come up
Name someone that's built up.
Liv Morgan.
They'll build up Amber Moon.
Yeah, they'll build up.
It's going to take time to do that.
Yeah, they've got time before the next takeover, man. They have plenty of time.
The next takeover is going to be in September or October.
It will Asuka by shenanigans. Bayley will have her pinned, but the ref will be distracted or something, and Asuka will either grab her by the tights, or
God damn it, Omega.
Or I gotta get that.
Like, you're calling such fuck finishes, dude.
Well, I mean,
it's the WWE. That's what they do.
Here's what happened. Bayley had her beat, but Asuka got out of it. Asuka refuses to stop kicking her in the corner, gets disqualified. They have a gimmick match at the next takeover, and then that's right after that is when Bayley gets called up.
I'm sorry, I can see them holding back Bayley more, so that way they still have that big name for NXT.
They'll keep her around for now, but I really think closer to Survivor Series.
I would like to remind people that of what Meltzer said about Bayley, about how you have a certain window of time for Bayley to get over with, before before age starts taking its toll. Not to say that she's old, but to say that she looks a particular way, and for her to look a particular way, she'll need to. It helps her appear. It helps her appearance. It
already kind of happened to Sasha when they cooled her for almost 3 months, and then all of a sudden pushed her to the moon, and then people are kind of like, happy but not as happy as they could have been.
Exactly. Whatchamacallit? I just see Asuka moving through Bayley and moving on. I see Bayley tapping out pretty convincingly.
Dude,
and then being demoralized.
Asuka moving through Bayley? That's hot.
Yeah.
Ultimate surrender?
I'm going to stick by what I said and say Asuka gets DQ'd, and they have one more match, and it'll be a big deal. It'll either be like no DQ or Cage doesn't really make sense, but
somebody. I could see it being 2 out of 3 falls or something like that.
Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna go against everyone. Say Bayley wins it back, and you could go ahead and book it to where she's still the champion. She's the first 2 times NXT Women's Champion, and she goes after Asuka. Asuka goes after her again, beats the shit out of her, and there you go.
All right, and so for the match that everybody's been wanting to see, I'm so excited for this.
Oh my god,
Joe and Nakamura.
Oh god, oh my god. How stiff is this match going to be, Gunner?
More stiff than your partner's dick in your ass. More stiff than your partner's dick in your ass. Just saying.
He's just not even going to respond to it.
You're right. He's not responding to it.
Hey, at least I give him the credit for being the giver.
All right, let me put forth one of my bold predictions. That was it.
That's a good one. I'm going to make a bold prediction too. I believe that it will be revealed that Nakamura was the person to hire the ninjas to abduct Samoa Joe in TNA, and that ninjas will come.
No, that's when he came back.
It's a perfect storyline. It makes sense.
You're welcome.
He was really going for The Rock, but he got his Samoans mixed up.
So wait, here's my question: do you want to expand this, Gunner, and say he also is the one that attacked Hideo Itami, or was that Joe getting revenge for the ninjas because he thought it was
Joe getting revenge? That was Joe getting revenge for the ninjas because he thought it was Neo.
Exactly, that it was Nakamura.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep. But in all honesty, though, this will get 25 minutes. This will have a dislocated jaw out of one of the two men. It will go to a no finish. I see them ending the night with the women's match, but this match goes on. This match goes on second to last and goes to a Broadway.
Oh, I see this. Okay. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and do a Broadway. What would the rematch be? You got to put a sip on that.
No. Stop.
Yeah.
You're
come on.
NXT into fucking no.
You put a fucking sip on that. You put a goddamn. You put a gimmick match on it.
Matches.
Ooh, fuck no. I'd say 30-minute Iron Man.
No.
Or an hour.
I think those two.
Shinsuke versus Joe for an hour. God, yes.
Just the entire special is them two.
Yes.
Am I the only one that thinks Shinsuke is going to win the title here?
No, I think Shinsuke is winning the title. And
I assume that Samoa Joe has got to get called up sooner rather than later, just with how thin both rosters are. They need him somewhere. And Shinsuke versus Hideo Itami is a dream matchup. A matchup I've wanted to see for a long time.
The thing is, I think there are more rising heels in NXT right now than faces. So, by that logic, you give it to Shinsuke, then maybe Rude or Aries or one of those other guys might challenge him.
Well, that's the problem with this, isn't it? I mean, you're right. There are definitely more heels in NXT than faces. However, Shinsuke being the eternal face and chasing Joe, and then you add a third person in for the next match because they're pissed off because they couldn't get a shot. I don't know if anybody would make sense at this point between the two of them that would interfere with the match or something like that. I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to say that ninjas will attack.
I think Hideo interfering would make sense.
I think it would too.
Having been on the shelf forever and wanting, obviously, he was en route to feuding with Baylor for the title before he got hurt.
You are not the top Japanese star here. I am. I could see that very well being, the motivation for that. And, and that's why he's against Shinsuke. And then he's like, Joe, you're the one who put me out. Go fuck yourself. And there it is. That's exactly what would happen. And I could see, and then you get a triple threat at the next one. And then you have and then a
fatal four-way next one with No Way Jose.
Well,
oh, Jesus.
Let's notice something about this takeover card. There's a name that I think should be on here that isn't on here, and it's a
Eric
shame.
Young?
No, not Eric Young. Where the fuck is Ty Dillinger?
They didn't want to job him out to hit Tommy because that's what he probably would have done. Those are the two guys that are not on the card that stand out to me. It's like it's probably because they don't want to have. Why would you want to have Dillinger lose again when he's so over with the crowd?
Exactly.
My booking would have had him thrown into a multi-man match, probably with No Way Jose or Austin Aries, so that you could still have Austin win, but by pinning No Way Jose or something like that.
That would be a good idea for the next takeover. Not now because they're so built in that singles. I would much rather have him on the card facing someone else.
Wait, scratch that. All right, isn't the Dusty Rhodes tournament coming up here?
Yes, that's starting.
That should start at next week's tapings. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's exactly why you don't see him Ty on there, because Ty's going to get tagged with someone, and they're going to go deep in that tournament.
Fuck, Gunner! You think they're going to bring in ducks for him?
Yo. I didn't even think of that.
Do you think they bring in Tyson Dukes for him?
I would be happy with that. That would be fun. I haven't seen those two wrestle in a long time. But basically, the point of the matter is Joe retains. They move on to next month because they have a habit of keeping people in NXT way too fucking long.
Yeah, they do. That's the problem. I see Joe losing.
You know who's winning?
Again? Your boyfriend has something to say, Donkey Lips.
Oh, no, wait, yeah. Calm down. He has a point, Gunner. Most likely the people winning the Tag Team Classic will be Beer Money. You forgot. James Storm's supposed to be coming in.
Oh, no, I'm saying they're going deep. I didn't say that they won. All right, let's move on. We're done with NXT. SummerSlam. Let's plow through these because there's 9 of them. Oh, dear Jesus. All right, so...
There's much more than 9.
Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 10.
11.
Sorry.
There's 11.
11, rather. Naomi, Carmella, Becky Lynch versus Natalya, Alexis Bliss, and Drugs.
So, wait, before we go into who wins this, is there a replacement?
Summer Rae.
No. I'm going to go out and say, guys... The one thing we've been dreading is finally going to happen. You can look, but you cannot touch.
I'm of the opinion there's not going to be a replacement. I think Eva wasn't going to really be in the match anyway.
Right.
And plus, it's probably in the pre-show, so who really cares? They'll do the announcer thing and say Eva's decided to take a well-deserved extended vacation, and
the reason I said Nikki was she did get cleared today by WWE doctors.
It is. Certainly possible.
I don't see it. Why would she be?
Because
on the side
John's
of the
on that brand.
Heels.
She's a heel. What do you mean? She's not a baby face.
Well, she'll join their team, but then do what Eva would have done, which is nothing, and then walk out or whatever.
She walks out. She's the queen of the fucking division. She's Nikki Bella, one of the longest reigning Divas champions of all time. It's immediate heel.
Anyway, let's move on because I don't want to talk about this match as much as. By the way, I love Naomi's new entrance.
Yeah, I agree.
God. I don't get it.
Well, she's a raver. She's a glow child. She's a. You ever see that movie Kids?
Jeff Hardy.
No, but I saw a porno with Sam Dubious.
What the fuck, Jacob?
Oh, I didn't see that one coming.
Oh, oh my! Moving on. We're done. We're done with that. Cesaro versus Sheamus in the first.
I agree.
Ouch.
Who is mad that this best of 7 got announced?
I'm not. I'm actually very excited. I've always liked these two when they go head to head. They're so hard hitting, and with like a best of 7 series, they could tell a pretty cool story with it. I'm looking forward to it.
That's some optimism right there that I don't have towards this.
I've just always liked those two when they have matches. They're just hard hitting as fuck, and they're usually pretty solid.
If Cesaro can push Sheamus to not be a lazy fuck, then I can see this being great. However, we're not talking about a best of 3 or a best of 5. We're talking a best of 7.
There's got to be consequences. There has to be like a world title shot at the end of this or something to make it mean something.
It better be. No, it better be. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And if they don't do that, then I'll be very disappointed.
Rev up those disappointments, Gunner.
Sheamus wins the first one.
I think Sheamus will too, and I'm of the opinion Sheamus will win 3 in a row, and then Cesaro will win the back four?
50-50 booking.
I think it's just funny that there have been some really good best of 7 series, and these are far from the worst 2 guys on the roster. I know Sheamus is not what he used to be, but he can still step it up a notch.
I was going to say,
I just think there's going to be some really good storytelling in this series.
It's rare when they do a best of 7, and when they do, it's always 50-50 booking. So that's why I'm kind of leaning toward 3 and 4.
I could see them ending it quickly. I could see them not going to the 7 and then deciding that they want to do something else.
I could see that. I could definitely see them scraping this because they realize, fuck, we're doing a best of 7 with these guys, and one of them is a great worker, the other one, not so much. So, my question to you is, Gunnar, how do you play this out? Do you play it out and make it extend to the pay-per-view? When I say pay-per-view, I mean Clash of Champions.
Yeah. You have another one of their series on Raw. You have them in a tag match together, and then you have you have your third one on whatchamacallit, on the next pay-per-view, and you have in a couple in between each week you have a segment where they're promoing and feuding and whatnot, blah 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 blah. I see actually a 4-2 Cesaro win. I think that Sheamus gets the first 2, and then Cesaro sweeps the rest. And they don't go to 7, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Moving on. Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Disappointed. Very disappointed in this. Not only do Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens deserve way better slots on the card, but Enzo Amore and Big Cass not in the tag team title match is a complete disappointment. I understand that it's the club and it's going to be the club's time, and that's perfectly fine with me. But Chris Jericho versus The Miz and versus Apollo Crews for the IC title, and Kevin Owens versus Rusev versus Roman Reigns for the US title would have made a fuck of a lot more sense.
I'm disappointed they didn't even Marvin Luton as Jericho's tag team partner.
I think.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Enzo and Cass are one of the biggest rising acts, not just tag acts, but acts on the show. They're the start of Raw practically every week now. Owens and Jericho, I'm not too disappointed in it because it's a matter of, Owens and Jericho working with the rising act and kind of, their interactions, I think, haven't been stellar, but have been pretty good. I think Enzo and Cass are going to win, of course.
I think the biggest disappointment is Sami Zayn is nowhere to be found, and they put this match together instead.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's very strange to me.
This was the
off the card.
Perfect spot to have the blow-off match between him and Owens in like a street fight or something like that, or a ladder match, or a loser leaves town ladder match. Something, anything, but
maybe
they kind of just cooled the feud off and then let it go away.
Well, maybe Zayn's going to be in the cruiserweights, maybe.
That's a waste of Sami Zayn, I think.
It is a complete waste of Sami Zayn, and Omega has said it, and now it's true. Oh, God.
Let's push on, gentlemen.
Yes.
All right, yes. Big Cass pins Jericho. Owens gets angry and walks off, that kind of thing, or Sammy interferes or something like that. New Day versus the Club. Sorry, New Day. That's it.
Yep, that's it. It's over.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean,
it's been fun. Now, here's my question to you guys: do they break up?
No.
Not in the traditional sense.
Yes, I agree.
I don't think that they'll break up and stop using the New Day gimmick. I think they'll do more what the Wyatt family's doing right now and not be together necessarily, but keep the same,
No, I don't think they're going anywhere for a while, at least. I think they're going to bring Big E back and have a rematch.
I think at some point, though, you've got to start pushing Big E as a single star or Kofi or someone, because there are 3 really talented dudes. The roster is thin, and you need more singles competitors.
Question. Out of the 3, who wins the WWE Global Championship? Because I guarantee you one of them isn't going to win the WWE Championship. But they sure as hell put the global one on a not white dude.
That's a good question. I don't know. I want to say Kofi, but
I think it's Big E.
I wish I knew which fucking belt you guys are fucking talking about.
Whatchamacallit? I think that Kofi. Who out of the three would win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship? I'm going to shock everyone and pick Xavier Woods.
What?
Yes.
Why? Reasoning.
I believe that while his awkwardness and comedic attitude is there, he is also a bit more has a bit more content to add in a serious aspect. I mean, if you look back to his Consequences Creed days, he could actually do something. He's goofy, sure. He's whatchamacallit? He's he's got a very quirky personality, yes. However, Kenny Omega, I mean, that's my point right here.
Okay.
Obviously, Kenny's best friend, but having the same kind of turn that Kenny would, and then getting really serious about like a Money in the Bank or or the Royal Rumble or something like that. I don't know necessarily Royal Rumble, but Money in the Bank definitely. I think that or Kofi. I mean, that's a flip. That's a coin flip right there.
Incredible.
Either one could be credible, but I think right now, if you were going to put the belt on somebody right now, Big E would be it.
Yeah.
But I see whatchamacallit? I see for the three of them at some point or another very shortly. And I found this. And here's a fun statistic: if you've been watching Raw in the past 5 years, Kofi Kingston has been a tag team champion 40% of the time.
That's scary. True. Fuck, Gunner.
Moving on, Miz versus Apollo Crews for the IC title.
Who cares?
God.
The Miz. I think the Miz retains. I don't feel like they've built up Apollo at all, and the name thing really kind of like them running with it scares me because it's so stupid. And it was such a little thing, and it was such an easy mistake to make when the most famous character from Rocky is Apollo fucking Creed. That's why he's named Apollo Crews.
I sort of agree with how Dog put. He's not ready. They didn't do enough to build him up. But not only that, it's more meaningful. And not so much more meaningful, it makes more sense if Miz gets disqualified or gets the match thrown out because of Maurice. That way they can go ahead and go to Backlash, and I want to say someone else goes after it, maybe Dolph, to get the IC title.
Or Hawkins, yeah.
Yeah, Hawkins too. I could see
on the flip side, I think it makes more sense for Miz to retain, but for Rusev to lose to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Please.
I'm sorry, Gunner. I'm sorry. It's happening. He's losing to Roman.
Well, it makes more sense, so that's why in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, they're going to do the reverse, and Apollo's going to win, and Reigns isn't going to.
Right. I don't see a way Roman doesn't walk out of there with the U.S. title. I think that Apollo loses and Reigns wins.
Mm-hmm.
They could do the double keep. They could do a double keep again. And yank them, hold your horses.
I don't think they will at SummerSlam. I think at least one is going. I think just to be different, I'm going to say Apollo wins, but Lana somehow gets Reigns disqualified or has the match, or messes up the match. But.
Okay. So
I think it's a double retain. I really do, because they're crowning a new champion with the Universal Championship. They don't necessarily have to change these titles, and they need to build these pay-per-views, these Clash of Champions and Backlash and fucking No Mercy's coming back.
Roman as a champion is a pretty natural fit at this point for the U.S. title. I think that he needs a baby run with that so that he can actually get something going and actually rehabilitate him.
But at the same time, if they're going to do these brand exclusive shows, like Dog was saying, this is a pretty loaded show already, and they're already crowning the champion. I think maybe Reigns wins it and is sort of the showcase of Clash of Champions. That's the next Raw one, right?
Yes.
So,
So, ironically, he says otherwise. He thinks Rusev is winning this, and Roman is not walking out with the belt.
No. I'm saying I think Roman will win, but he won't get the belt. Like, I'm saying disqualification by Lana or a count out or some bullshit finish.
Okay. I agree. I would agree with that one. They got to keep Roman strong. So I'm going to lump the other two championship matches in here. Sasha Banks and Charlotte, and Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler. I both retain. I'm saying here because that's kind of important for the Universal to actually make a great debut. I think that the Sasha Charlotte match will get 20 minutes, and I think that it'll be amazing. I also think that Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler will be a 4.5 Meltzer match.
Really? No Tokyo Dome?
No Tokyo Dome. I'm calling that because with the recent G1 and all of that nonsense going on over in Japan and the ridiculously good wrestling coming out of there, Dean and Dolph probably feel the real big pressure to have the title match of their fucking lives on this card because they're in a good spot to do so. Dean needs a good win. Dolph needs a good show. And I could see these two having great chemistry together, and Dolph selling like a motherfucker, and Dean acting fucking crazy. It'll fit, it'll work, and they can do it. I think that, and we'll be talking about this match the most.
I know everyone's going to hate me, but I actually see Charlotte winning this match and winning the title back. Because I think what their plan is to eventually build a stable around Charlotte. And it kind of became clear Monday night. And Emma is on her way back sooner rather than later. And she's been paired with Dana Brooke, and it just makes sense. And Sasha's been getting okay reactions, but probably not the reactions they think. And I just see this as WWE like panicking and pulling the rug out.
Corpus Christi.
Exactly. They could, and they've done this before many times. It's not out of the line for them to do shit like this. And Charlotte, to them, is proven. So,
I don't agree with you, but I understand completely why you would say that.
Who wins, Lex? Sasha or Charlotte?
Sasha.
Charlotte.
Sasha. I've got Sasha. All right.
So, does Dana come out and interfere after the match and beat down Sasha?
Yes, and Bailey comes out and beats down.
Bingo! Yes.
I told you.
Shut the fuck up, Alexi.
See. All right, let's talk about the match that I want to talk about first.
Yeah, it won't be Bailey. It will be Blue Pants.
Yes.
Yes, Reba Bates. You're right. Omega's right. It's Blue Pants.
Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton.
All right.
I really want to talk about this match because I think that it's the most interesting out of the three left. I'm not saying it'll be the best. I'm just saying it's the most interesting because there's a whole lot of ways that you could go with this, and it's pretty much an open board. Now, here's what I'm thinking.
Wins.
Okay. Hold on. I understand that is the easy answer to say.
And that's why they're going to do it.
However, you can tell what kind of match it's going to be because of what Dean said on the podcast.
A match in which Lesnar wins.
Right. Dean says that Lesnar didn't want to do anything creative because he knew he was going to go fight in a couple months. I could see Lesnar beating this suspension thing, and I could see Lesnar, going back to UFC again for the New Year show. But if they see a crazier match and it's more intense with Orton, I could see Orton not only winning, but I could see Lesnar being around a little more because he can't beat that 2-year suspension or however long it's going to be.
Well, the only thing is it sucks that hearing's not taking place before the pay-per-view because that's actually I think next week. His hearing in Nevada.
Yeah. That's with Nevada.
So if it was before the pay-per-view, I think we could go ahead and say that. I think Lesnar is going to win. I think it's going to be completely one-sided because Brock beat Mark Hunt, and they're not going to say, oh, still fuck, they don't care about the UFC steroid thing. It's whatever. That's with UFC. It's not with the E. I think this is also the last time we see Brock this year.
In honesty, I thought it was surefire that Brock was going to win. Then the whole suspension, drug testing thing came out, and I thought I was really leaning toward Orton because I figured, if nothing else, a punishment in of itself. But as time has gone on, and we haven't really heard anything about it, granted, we don't know the results, but as time has gone on, and it's pretty obvious that Lesnar is above a lot of the rules. Even on Monday night when he told Slater that he didn't care about his kids and swore like that wasn't in the script, that they managed to beep it. But, Meltzer said, anybody else, including Joey Styles, who we happen to be talking about at the time, would have been gone yesterday. But a guy like Lesnar, Lesnar actually has things in his contract that say what he can be disciplined for.
Exactly.
So I really do think
smart man.
Yeah, I really do think they're going to keep his star power alive. They're going to, that's all there is to it. He's going to win the match. He's going to eat a few RKOs, granted, but he's going to win the match.
You're absolutely right. He's way too important right now for the WWE to squish whatever it is. However,
because whoever beats him,
and Randy Orton is not the guy.
Exactly.
That's the more important thing, is that Orton doesn't need a victory over Brock Lesnar to make him legitimate. He's already legitimate. This is just a personal dream match that a lot of people, including myself, have wanted to see for a very long time. But the outcome is damn obvious because you can't. Lesnar is the only legit thing they have. He's really, truly one of the few actual draws that they have.
So, 3 things. 1, do you think Randy's going to give a shit?
Oh yes, I think that Randy, ever since coming back, has had a rejuvenated attitude and spirit, and I think that he actually loves the business again for some reason or another.
That'll last for what, 5-6 months?
After WrestleMania,
it'll last through SummerSlam, though.
Yeah,
that's the important part.
Yeah, it'll last through SummerSlam, and it'll last probably till WrestleMania when he gets hurt again. I'm calling shoulder pounding the injury again, number 2 or number 3.
Number 3, yeah, it would be 3.
And I think that happens in April of next year, but that's beyond.
All right, let's talk about Ambrose and Ziggler because
we already did.
What? Did you talk about that when I went to get tea and Bugles?
Yes.
You fucks.
I said it was going to be I said it was going to be a 4.5-star match, and it was going to be great.
Who the fuck eats Bugles with tea?
So
you don't like sweet tea?
Somebody with no taste buds.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking like hot tea. That's
no, sweet tea.
Do you guys agree we're not going to see Brock anymore after this match?
Probably
Survivor Series.
No.
Survivor Series.
They might want to drag him out, though, as one of the draws for those new pay-per-views on the network.
Yeah, maybe one more. They did do that last year with Night of Champions.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
One or two more. I think that guaranteed you'll see him at Survivor Series, but I think that he might be on the first Raw pay-per-view, too. Then that's the only 2 opportunities that you would see Brock Lesnar.
So then, does someone fuck the match?
All right, no. All right, we're moving on. All right, so John Cena versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles gets his win. Yeah, we haven't even talked about that yet.
Booker's taking over.
What the fuck order are you going in? That's not how it is on the run sheet.
I know that's not how it is on the run sheet, but I wanted to talk about the Lesnar match first because it was more interesting.
AJ
Styles
Styles
wins,
gets his win, and then the next pay-per-view, it'll be John Cena, and then that'll be the end of it.
I think John's going away for a while. If I remember correctly, he's going to go film. The Fox show.
Didn't he just come back?
Season. Well, they got a second season to do now.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
So yeah, I could see that. I could also.
I'm okay with that.
I could also easily see an Owens situation where AJ does win, and then Cena gets the win back, and la-di-da, whatever.
I think that AJ wins here. John goes out on his back. John disappears for a while.
And then I think after that, it's Styles versus Ambrose for the WWE Championship. It's pretty clear that they've been high on Styles for pretty much since he arrived, and he's outshined their expectations in a lot of ways. And that's the money draw on SmackDown as far as a feud. That's something that you can get people to tune into.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that it would match perfectly with the Raw end of things with this feud with Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, which we'll talk about in a second.
It'll go perfectly with his new shirt. Have you seen that?
Oh, God, yeah, that's a great shirt. I like the shirt. Nobody likes the shirt.
I kind of like it too. It's like that Nia Jax shirt. Like it's not great. It's not even good necessarily, but it fits.
Right, exactly.
It doesn't fit Nia Jax.
She's not like most girls. But what should we call it? Baylor versus Rollins, and this is our final prediction segment of this incredibly long segment.
I don't think Balor goes over, but it's going to be a fuck of a match. It's going to be amazing.
Fucking high.
This is going to be match of the weekend. This will be better than anything on TakeOver. I'm predicting that right now. I think this is going to be the best match.
I think these two matches, if they go back to back, I think that they will be the best 45 minutes of wrestling that you will watch outside of Japan this year.
The smart money says Rollins, but I'm going to say Balor because
I agree.
If they really want to get this brand off the ground, I mean,
where are we?
I totally and completely agree that it's going to be Balor. I see Balor, coup de grace Rollins. I think he's going to be in his demon pain. I think Vince loves him too much to not do it. Seth Seth telegraphing everything with him saying, I've been the first this and I've been the first that. And well, he's not going to be the first Universal Champion, that's for sure.
I'm actually on the other side. I'm on the other side of the fence. I think this is Rollins. He's got it in the bank. He's clearly the guy. He's clearly the guy that they're leading the show with. Balor is not – he's over, but he's not built up. He's won a couple of big matches, but a lot of guys have won a couple of big matches. Kevin Owens won a pretty damn big match when he first debuted, and look where he is now. They have this record of doing this with stars where they build them up really fast, and then they get them really close to the top, and then they don't pull the trigger. And it feels
I'd like to point you in the direction of 2010, at the end of 2010, and I'd like to point you in the direction of a guy named Sheamus. Who was Triple H's boy, who beat John Cena for the WWE World Championship. Mind you, it was in a ladder match, or excuse me, in a tables match.
Yeah, it was in a tables match, and we're still not entirely sure that Cena didn't accidentally go through that table.
But they'll let Rollins lose. I mean, Rollins ain't Cena.
Exactly. Exactly.
So if Balor does win, do we get Kane kneeling?
See, that's the other issue with it. Yeah, who faces Balor if he wins?
Probably Rollins again.
It'll be Rollins again. They'll have a rematch. And then
Rollins, Jericho, Owens. Rollins, Jericho, Owens.
I see.
Armageddon Hell in a Cell.
The way I see this ending is prior in the night, Luke and Carl get the tag titles. Two people come out, they have masks on, they beat the shit out of Rollins, hope Balor wins, and then turns out it's Luke and Carl, and we get the Balor Club. I think this is the pay-per-view that we finally get the 3 guys we've been waiting for.
And if they don't, they're stupid.
Exactly. Like he said, they're stupid.
There's no better way to pull that off, honestly, than at SummerSlam to have the fucking Balor Club
It's the big summer angle that they always do, just like 3 years ago.
The only problem with that is you would basically have to turn Rollins face. And
he's been getting,
which I could see them doing. And here's the other reason. And screw the club at the moment. You guys realize Jon Stewart's going to be at SummerSlam again, right?
Yeah, he's right. Jon Stewart will be there.
It's going to be Jon Stewart, and it's going to be Jon Stewart helping Balor win, screwing over Rollins. Because
the other way, it could be
it's not the other way because he's going to make right for what he did last year.
Well, then he would help Rollins then because he. Wait.
Didn't help Rollins last year.
Right. He helped. You're right. You're right. He did help Rollins last year because he didn't want Cena to break Flair's record or tie it or whatever.
Right, exactly, and he's kind of a mark.
All right. Well, all right. So, I still say Balor. Who? We talked about it, but Ziggler or Ambrose, who's going to be champion?
I say
Ambrose.
They don't put the Ziggler is going to be that guy that doesn't get his one good run ever. Despite being perfectly talented.
He's the new Christian.
But there's heat on Ambrose right now because of the comments he made on the podcast.
Oh, please. That heat's so tiny. It's not even, I can't even lighten a guy. You can't even feel it with a fart. Jesus. All right. That's it. We're done. I want ice cream.
I could go for a Blizzard.
I want coffee.
Nobody cares what you want, donkey lips. Shut your whore mouth. What the hell?
Play the music. God damn it. Do the one thing you're supposed to do.
What the fuck, man? God damn.
All right, Dairy Queen drive-thru. Ratings. Let's see here. Yankum, why don't you actually do the ratings?
I wanted to do the birthdays, but okay.
Okay, you can do the birthdays then. Donkey Lips, you do the ratings.
Rex, do the ratings.
What are the ratings?
There. Just say them.
Fuck yeah. Ratings for Raw, SmackDown, Impact, and pay-per-views. Impact, 315,000, which is down from 317,000. Raw, we had 2.9. Oh, I'm sorry. 2.900. Raw, 2.
Come on.
Raw, 2.9 up from 10. I can't do it.
Yes.
Jesus
I'm not
Christ.
the only one. Fuck you all.
They're just numbers.
Can you, dog, for the love of God, save us.
Raw. 2,915,000 viewers, up from last week's 2,911,000 viewers, up 4,000 viewers. Way to go, Raw. And then SmackDown, 2.471 million, and that's up 2.455 million from last week, up a couple 20,000 viewers, and that's the rating.
Croc, you have a hot mic. Yank it with the birthdays.
Happy birthday on the 18th to Tom Pritchard. On the 19th, there's Lillian Garcia, Tim Horner, Chet Jablonski, and Percy Watson. On the 20th, we've got Duke Drezzy, Byron Saxton, and Tori. On the 21st is Nathan Jones. On the 22nd is Paul Ellering, Neville, Stevie Ray, and the Usos. On the 23rd, Donkey Lips Black Cherry that he lost to a kid named Jim and Marvin Luden at camp. And on the 24th, Funaki, Rocky Johnson, and Vince McMahon. And those are your birthdays for the week.
Achoo, brother. It's time. Achoo, it's my birthday again. And now it is time for This Week in Wrestling with Omega BR.
Yes, this weekend wrestling history, circa 1944, where Lou Thesz becomes the first two-time Texas heavyweight champion, defeating Ernie Dusick in Houston, Texas. Jump to 1949, where Dave Levin defeats George Bolas in Toledo, Ohio, for the Jack Pfeiffer promoted World Heavyweight title to begin his third reign. And in 1951, Frenchie Roy defeats Dale Haddock in Oregon to win the Pacific Coast Junior Heavyweight title. And that was this week in wrestling history.
Happy Trails. Happy Trails this week to Vader, who defeated Will Ospreay at Revolution Pro after Pete Dunne interfered and attacked Ospreay. Ospreay agreed to a British Cruiserweight Championship rematch with Dunne post-match. Apparently, it was very good, and Vader is very out of shape. Happy Trails to Gawker. Ladies and gentlemen, Gawker had it come crashing down, and it hurts inside because they will shut down operations next week after nearly 14 years, now that Univision is in the process of purchasing the assets to a tune of $145 million. Hogan is going over. He's getting his money, brother. What you gonna do?
By the way, for those who do not know, Hogan is basically playing a major part in their bankruptcy proceedings as well. So that should be a fun little thing to watch for a while.
Yes, it will be. It'll be very interesting to see what he decides to do with the editor's assets or something like that. Like he gets to claim like $20,000 worth of stuff.
Yeah, essentially,
and then the rest of it's
AJ Dualero, the guy who used to be the editor of Deadspin, and who knows if Deadspin will even keep going at this point, considering the reputation it has now. But yeah, he is essentially in control of the majority of his life. He is royally fucked in every way possible. He's going to be bankrupt. He's going to be broke forever.
Yep. So that's what you get for posting really horrible stuff online.
This is great news.
This is really
I take a negative tone with it, but this is the best thing I've heard in forever. So.
Yeah. I don't care that they posted the Hogan sex tape and fucked with him at all. But outing that dude that they outed was just absolutely wrong. Just as wrong as you could possibly be wrong. So they definitely got.
You say that, dude. They've done that multiple times to many people.
That's true, and it's so wrong.
But Hogan's still a scumbag. Theo is a scumbag.
Mm-hmm.
But Denton's a scumbag too. AJ, the AJ guys, he's a scumbag. This is what happens when scum tries to out scum. And they got everything they deserved. They got what they deserved.
Hulk Hogan didn't get over in wrestling because he was the best wrestler. He got over because he could play politics better than anybody else. Mm-hmm. And they went against him. What idiots.
Yes. So there's a wonderful proverb that I like to live by, and that is don't ever get into an argument with an idiot. They will beat you down to their level and win with experience. This is what Gawker did. Tell me I'm wrong.
This also...
Yes, they put the weapon in his hand. It's one thing to report on it. It's one thing to post it and then get rid of it. But it's one thing to post it and gleefully defy any order to take it down. That's what they did, and they paid for it. So
not only did they defy the order to take it down, they wrote an article saying they're not going to take it down. They drew attention to the fact that they were disobeying the direct court order.
Right. And then they also called anyone who looked at those naked pictures of the chick from those...
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah. They called anybody that looked at those a rapist. So I watched that Hulk Hogan tape. So that means that I raped Hulk Hogan.
Did you actually watch the tape?
If you watch that tape, then you raped Hulk Hogan.
Yankum, did you watch it?
I watched parts of it. I fast forwarded through the boring parts.
I'm very disappointed, to be perfectly honest, because that was definitely going to be a
new show. This is a new show, and I'm required to be up on the news. Unfortunately, sometimes that means watching the equivalent of...
Were you? Were you quite up after watching that tape?
I a little chubby, a little mahogany. Yeah, with the vampires.
Oh
reference.
God!
All right, what do we watch this week in wrestling? There is so much to watch this week in wrestling. Oh my fucking god! Croc, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
We're doing both of us. I'll go first. This week we should watch in particular. The match I want to see is the Motor City Machine Guns versus the Young Bucks at the Super J Cup Finals.
Oh yes, it's gonna be so good.
What the fuck do you want to watch?
The Ascension to Hell tag team ladder match on Impact this week.
Wow! Fuck
with the Helm Dynasty and Matt and Jeff Hardy. Yes.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that one.
Well, dude, it's the Broken Hardys. It's money right now.
Yeah, but Broken Hardys is money. It absolutely is. With both of them broken, it works so well. I can't wait. Whatchamacallit? Yankum, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
I didn't get to watch any fucking wrestling this week. I was in a goddamn emergency room like every time wrestling was on. So that means that Raw and SmackDown are skipped this week. Yay! And I'm going to watch, you know what? I'm going to pre-watch the Hogan and Ultimate Warrior match from Halloween Havoc 99? I think it was. Yeah, Halloween Havoc like 99. 98. Okay. So I'm going to watch Halloween Havoc 98, Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior, because next week we will be watching that in the after show, and we will be riffing the match a la Riff Tracks and MST3K.
Which we did last week with the Jeff Hardy Sting match from Victory Road.
Oh, God, that match. Ugh. I still hurt inside from watching that.
Omega BR, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
Well, we didn't mention it earlier, but Chikara actually has a live, their very first network special, No One's First and You're Next, starting at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, I believe, this Sunday, right before all the Summerslam festivities.
Oh, yeah.
You actually do need a Chikaratopia account to watch it. However, they have a code where you can get your first week free as sort of a trial, so theoretically you could watch it for free. It features Team Fire Ant versus Team Hollowicked, Princess Kimberly versus Heidi Lovelace, and Team Big Deal versus the United Nations. Of course, the Big Deal is the man formerly known as Hornswoggle.
Awesome. I will definitely be checking that out at some point or another. I know it's been a while since Chikara has been at its prime, but still, Chikara is amazing, and you should definitely support that kind of wrestling.
And King of Trios is coming up pretty soon here, about a month.
One of my favorite tournaments. Save Us Dog. What should we watch this week in wrestling?
This week in wrestling, you should be watching the ROH pay-per-view on Friday evening this weekend. What a fucking stacked weekend, dude. How about this matchup?
So much.
How about this matchup? The Rainmaker, Okada, versus the Boy Maker, Dalton Castle. That's going to be a fucking great match. And I completely forgot it was going on. So that's the match you should watch this week.
All right, so this week I'm actually going to go tell you to go watch the Cruiserweight Classic, because, I've been watching a bit of that. And it was the last match this week. God, who was it?
Neeson Kendrick.
Neeson Kendrick, yes. Brian Kendrick looking the way that he does, and Tony Nese, who's damn good at what he does. It was a good match. I really enjoyed it. I was very surprised. I thought Tony Nese was a completely different guy. I don't know who I was thinking of, to be perfectly honest, but it's Tony Nese, and Kendrick can still go, and he could really still go. And what I really took out of it, honestly, was Brian's commentary, because it was so impassioned and so good that with Morrow calling the straight shot, that commentary team, if I could have that commentary team for the rest of my life, calling everything that I watch in wrestling, I would be happy.
He knows Spanky personally.
I would replace JR and King in the Attitude Era with Mauro Ranallo and Daniel Bryan.
I don't know about that.
Calm down, son.
I don't know about that.
I like them that much.
I mean,
do you like them as much as Gorilla and Bobby?
No, you can't touch Gorilla and Bobby.
How about you?
Bobby.
I'm just gonna say that's fine. That's your opinion, but your opinion is wrong.
How about this for the Kurt Angle versus Cody Rhodes match, or the event that match is going to be on for Revolution Pro? The announced team they got Jim Ross and Jim Cornette.
I heard about that. Oh my god! Rev Pro,
WCPW.
Rev Pro and whatchamacallit.
Oh wait! You know what? You might be right. It might be WCPW.
No, isn't it? Or WCPW? No, I thought it was. Wait, no, isn't it the? What the fuck is it? The What Culture? Yeah, the What Culture. That's what it is. Yeah. You're right.
What Culture Professional Wrestling.
Yeah, it's What Culture.
You are right. I got it confused because they're based in England as well. But they have Jim Ross. They have Jim Cornette, and I forget who the third guy on the booth is. But they must have some money because I hear Angle takes about 25 G's to get booked, and Ross doesn't come cheap, and God knows how much money they threw at Cornette to convince him to get on a plane. So that's what Dave Meltzer says.
A lot with Sprite.
I feel like you could pay Jim Cornette with about $500 worth of Sprite and you'd be okay. Anyway.
All right, so that's it, guys. Thank you very, very much for listening. I know this has been a long podcast, but we have a ton of wrestling this week that you have to watch. I'm going to get on a little soapbox here for a second. Please watch professional wrestling this week. Do yourself a favor because it's some of the best shows of the year that you're going to see. You got the NXT TakeOver. You got the Super J Cup. You got ROH. You got Evolve. You've got CCW. You got Chikara. All of them doing shows this weekend. All of them. You also have SummerSlam on Sunday. You have the network specials that are going to be on that we're looking forward to, like Enzo and Cass in the ride along series. Hell yes, I want to see that. And then you got your Raw and you got your SmackDown, obviously. But this weekend in particular is going to be great for wrestling. And then there's UFC 202 on top.
And of course, the biggest pro wrestling card, UFC 202.
That's exactly.
I mean, they were throwing fucking bottles at each other. How much more pro wrestling does it get? In fact, I bet they ripped that shit off on Raw on Monday.
You know what? You know where they got it from? Pride. UFC is now Pride. You're welcome, everybody. Connor, second round knockout. Put your money on it. Whatchamacallit? Enjoy the ride, guys. Thank you all for listening. You can check us out online at smarksnark.com, twitter.com/smarksnark, facebook.com/smarksnark, patreon.com/smarksnark. You can give us a call at 812-408-9666 or 812-408. Woo!
Did I miss the mic button?
No, you did not miss the mic button. You were good to go. Thank you all for listening. And this has been 222 episodes of this show. We really appreciate y'all being around. We really appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody being here and being a part of this. A big shout out to Omega and Yangum for putting up with all of this for 222 of these. Jesus, Mother God. Southwest. Thank y'all for listening. Take care. Spike your hair.
Follow me on Twitter at The Croc. Replace the O with a 0 and follow this fucker on Twitter at Wrestling Matters.
Wait, he's wrestling? Your tag team partner is Wrestling Matters?
No, he's the Wrestle Scoop, but yeah, his main thing is Wrestling Matters.
Because I like that. I don't like you, but I like that.
They like your Twitter handle.
Super.
Woo woo woo. You know it.
So no good night, Omega.
Good night, Haverhill.